it might be that the Director General will say, okay, you manage the SCoMRA process. Who knows? Research promotion, support evidence-based regulatory science practice and innovation adoption. Professional recognition, examination-based recognition for certified regulatory science professionals. Academic qualifications will collaborate with African academic institutions to offer programs in regulatory science. College, we need to align with continental health priorities. Is one of her priorities, here we are. And we need that competency-based framework. We need to build strong collaborations and partnerships. Hopefully, we'll have strong leaderships and governance structures. The R codes will be strengthened and probably expanded. And then together with academic institutions, they will anchor the college. And hopefully we'll have the sustainable financing mechanism. Remember what I said at the beginning. Not that we don't need help at the beginning, of course, but as we move forward, we need to be standing on our 2 feet. And given all the products that we'll be offering, that should be a possibility. Next slide, please. So with us and subject. And the continental stakeholder consultations, although we've had a couple, they are ongoing. Consultations, although we've had a couple, they are ongoing. Consultations, although we've had a couple, they are ongoing. So all these things are still ongoing. So the consultations continue. So we're announcing, here we're nearly announcing that we've more or less nearly there established the college. This is what we're doing today. Next slide, please. This is what we're doing today. So moving next slide. Need to final competence framework, the membership charter and the partnership charter. And then we'll flag going to be the body that actually adopts the constitution of Professor Rikas. I'm getting all this confused, yes. And so we hope that this will happen soon. And then we'll have an inaugural AGM to adopt the Next slide, please. The roles of members will, next slide, please. So who would be eligible to be a founding member? Next slide. Looking at that founding members should be recognized professionals in medical products regulation, regulatory science, or a closely related discipline. They must have at least 15 years of professional experience in regulatory affairs, I think, people. So it's not the general membership. It's just that initial cohort. They must demonstrate commitments and they must demonstrate commitments and they must demonstrate commitments and Plenarys. It's across the entire gamut of regulatory science. Next slide, please.
It's across the entire
So
gamut of
we are
regulatory
announcing the college
Next slide.
and the fact that there will be an expression of interest flighted. We're hoping that maybe by the end of January, we might have deadlines for submissions of applications for the expression of interest, and then candidates would be notified and invited to a founding meeting, and then would have the inaugural General Assembly at which the Constitution would be adopted and the first governing council elected. Hopefully this will all be done maybe by the end of the first quarter 2026. So are you going to be part of shaping Africa's regulatory future? Be part of a transformative continental initiative shaping the future of medical products regulation in Africa. Join the College of African Medical Products Regulatory Science Professionals and help drive excellence, harmonization, and innovation in regulatory science across the continent. I thank you. Excellence, harmonization, and innovation.
Thank you very much, Google, and I think you will now appreciate that she was my teacher. Google, and you will now appreciate that she. You want to open the floor if there are any clarifications that anybody want to seek, or if there are any contributions they'll be taken on board and worked with as we move forward. She has taken us through the process, the background, what has happened, what is going to happen, and what our expectations should be. So please join us. May I take the opportunity to recognize the other members of the Interim Executive Committee. We have in this room Margaret and Sigunda. Can you give us a wave wherever you are as a member of the IEC? Margaret Apollo Mohawe is also here. Moses Kale, I saw him this morning. He's also around. Yeah, he's there on the other side. A few of them are not here with us. Precious Machoso from South Africa, Marius Brits also from South Africa, and Professor Papa Amadou Diouf from Senegal. They are not here with us today. And we have had a very strong support from the Secretariat headed by Chim, together with Alex and David, Clarissa, and the team. So thank you all very much. The floor is open for any concerns, questions. Yes, you start from there. One. Anybody else? So thank you all very much. Two there. Three, four. Then we move on to another set. So number one, please. Two there. Three, four. Then we move on to another set. So number one, please.
Thank you for that excellent presentation, and also in terms of where the African continent is going. I think from a GMP perspective, where we have had interactions and with academia, for instance, the university that's doing our data analytics in terms of the pilot inspections, which culminated in 12 continental listing of product. So can do with respect to that. So I really look forward to probably having a conversation, myself, Washington, Alex, if it's around, in terms of just what would be the next steps or how we could work together and collaborate. That would be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I really look forward
comments. And thank you so much for the offer. We'll take advantage of that. Number two, please.
Thank you. Good morning, Gugu.
What would
Lovely
be
to
the
see
next
you.
steps or how we would
Martin
how we
Harvey
could
from the European
work
Medicines
together and
Agency.
collaborate? That would be great. Thank you.
Gugu, were you talking about the
Thank you
competence
very much.
framework? And I was just ask you,
Comments.
are you intending
Thank
to
you so
align
much
the
for the
framework with the
take
WHO
advantage of that.
GBT
Number two,
regulatory
please.
functions? Thank you. So that there is a continuum between what CASP is validated and which supports the efforts of regulators as they move through the journey of ML up to ML3 and ML4. Thank you.
Thank you. Well noted. Gugu will address that. You want to address it now?
Competency framework on the WHO GBT1. Yeah, so that we are all aligned. After all, we're all going in one direction as regulatory science professionals. So that we are all aligned. After all,
Thank you very much. Number four. Number three, please. Thank you very much. Number three. Number four. Number three, please. Oh, no microphone. Number three. Number four. Number three. Oh, no microphone. Number three.
Hello, good morning, Gugu. Thank you very much. There was also consideration for grandfather clause. Is that something is still being considered? For example, the heroes of the regulatory science in Africa, such as yourself and Margaret, are going to be the first members of the college. Now, the second thing is the membership going to be open to other regulatory professionals outside Africa?
The second thing is grandfather is addressed in the founding members. So we're hoping that what you call grandfather, just recognizing people, they will come through as the founding fellows of the college. Surely if they are recognized by institutions, those institutions can support their applications to be founding fellows. Somebody to become part of the college. As for membership to residents or citizens out, to broaden the base of membership going forward.
Number four.
So we don't miss anybody from all the regions of the continent, because this is very important for exchange of experience and build on the experience of all the regions. Again, who will be oversighting the candidates? I mean, for the founding, is it the interim? Project is a huge of very good importance for all of us on the continent to build on the professionalism of the existing. Thank you very much, my sister.
From the continent. Geographic. I have no idea. They have no idea. The AU people know better. From the continent. Geographic post. The Rex will be better.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, sorry. The who's going to supervise the process? For now, is the interim committee to supervise that initial process, even though some of most, if not all, the members will if not all, the members will
members for this great initiative. I'm just wondering whether there could be, there are colleges, specialist colleges of training, so that there can be some level of partnerships and collaborations to ensure that countries become the beneficiaries of this great initiative. Thank you very much, Uba. That countries become the beneficiaries of this.
with the College of Surgeons of Central, East, and Southern Africa, just to see how they have structured their organization and they've been holding IEC to guide them through the process. And we've looked at, I think, the West African postgraduate college of whatever. So we've looked at all these various institutions and seen how we could learn lessons from that and benchmark from what they have been doing. Thank you. Postgraduate college of whatever. So we've looked
So
at
number
all these
two.
various institutions and seen how we could learn lessons from that and benchmark from what they have been doing. Thank you.
Je vais parler en français. Et membre de l'Union africaine. Maintenant, je voulais j'ai deux préoccupations. La première préoccupation consistait quelles sont donc les conditions d'accès pour les apprenants. Donc là-dedans, je vois par exemple les conditions de prise en charge, les coûts de la formation des apprenants, la langue d'apprentissage et même le profil des apprenants là. Et l'autre condition, c'est est-ce que chaque pays pourra désigner ses apprenants pour pouvoir participer à la formation de ces apprenants-là. Maintenant, pour terminer, on a vu le programme à partir de janvier 2025 et 2026. Maintenant, la rentrée académique pour les apprenants pouvait être à peu près à partir de quelle période? Je vous remercie. Maintenant, la rentrée académique pour les apprenants pouvait être à peu près à partir de quelle période? Je vous remercie.
Thank you for that question. With respect to students, there will be a category of student membership yet to be defined. And once that is defined, the students themselves would have to apply directly to the college. Naturally, if they are attending training programs, they may or may not necessarily need their country support, because this is for individual professional development. Organizations obviously may want to send their own people as well, but the point is this is for the individual professional who wants to develop themselves. So they will not necessarily, at this stage, I'm not 100% sure because this is the formative stages of the college. But in general, with professional colleges, as far as I'm aware, there are no quotas as such. It is open and people apply because it's up to the individual themselves whether they want to associate with a particular college or not. So the country selection process would not necessarily apply, but it might be that the college might want some sort of supporting document to indicate a person is of good standing wherever they come from. And I think that would be the major thing that would be applied. Have I answered all the questions? Yeah. Okay. And I think that would be the major thing that would
So we still have some time if there's any other question, but let me add that to add to what my chair has said, that this is purely about you as a professional wanting to develop. And on the other side, the college also expects to make your expertise, but the commissioner has to decide on that. I also want to say that I introduced myself also as a member of the Interim Executive Committee and the Vice Chairman to my chair. I introduced myself also as a member of the Interim Executive Committee and the Vice Chairman to my chair. Thank you. So we want to find out whether there are any of our colleagues online who would want to make a contribution or ask a question. We want to find out whether there are any of our colleagues online. Anyone online? Contribution or ask a question?
there's a Ben.
There's one here, yeah. that what will be the admission requirements of the students and any plans providing any plans for providing scholarships? The admission requirements of the students and any plans.
Yes, students will always ask that question.
Admission requirements of
Obviously, I think as the college develops, there may be some scholarship programs, depending on the resources that the college has, that may come about. But as I indicated to our colleague who asked the question on students, it's still kind of open, it's yet to be determined, and details will come through. There was a second question.
the second one was whether the college will be affiliated to other existing universities or
I think
programs in other
we've already
universities.
addressed that question as well.
Will be affiliated to other existing universities. I don't think there's any other.
There's one question as well.
Oh, there are two more hands. Okay, one and then two. And three. Maybe that should be the last. Yes. So 1, 2, and 3.
Hi, good morning. Emil Malan from Vicor Health. Thank you so much for a very clear presentation. Really excited about this. We work extensively with manufacturers and regulatory teams, but more on the industry side. So whilst it's implied, I just wanted to understand, because we see significant need for much more coordinated contextual capacity building against the African regulatory system for people working in industry as well. So I just wanted to clarify that this would be open for all contributors to the value chain in Africa.
Absolutely. There are regulatory professionals in industry, there are regulatory professionals sometimes in academia, there are regulatory professionals across these various sectors. So it will apply to both industry and to national regulatory authorities, academic institutions and other institutions, as well as research institutions. So yes, yes, sir. Academic institutions and other institutions.
Number
as
2,
well as
please.
research institutions.
Thank you.
So yes, yes, sir.
How are you, Makadinyu, Madam Gugu?
Number 2, please.
My comment is that I hope with this college, as Africa will continue to sustain the gains. Sometimes I get concerned where it seems as if we are reinventing the wheel of the achievements that we've made over the years. I think the pharmaceutical industry in Africa is more than 50 years or so. But sometimes when we hear the current trajectory, it's as if we are starting, for example, local manufacturing plant, procurement. So I'm hoping from this college will actually demonstrate where we are, because we have achieved a lot as Africa. But I'm thinking it has fallen down the cracks. For example, manufacturing, procurement, we've done this a long time ago. So I'm just hoping that through this college, we should be able to sustain and demonstrate that as Africa, we can do it as we have done it before. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment. And all I can say is that this college is an attempt now to consolidate all those gains, because the training has been done in silos by different institutions, not really recognized by anyone. So if you can now bring all those people together and standardize their qualifications, their accreditations, etc., it means that you are consolidating all the training that you are talking about under one umbrella. It means that you are consolidating all
Yes,
the
Sachin.
training that you are talking about under one umbrella.
Thank you and good morning. My name is Hashim. I'm from Nigeria. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate Gugu and the team. Coming from 2005, I will never miss that day when we did the scoping and we had our work plans, regional work plans, to revitalize regulatory systems within the African continent. And I'm so happy today to see that those in SADC and the East African community have come up of age. It is worthy of note, truly. Now, going on that, I want to say it does not matter where CAPS sit. It does not matter as far as those in the driving seat are experts and are recognized, deserving of those positions. We shouldn't just politicize it. It should work, and those who are willing should drive it, and who have the capacity. So I want to support from that direction. Let's CAFs be strong for all of us in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that comment.
So very last one on the other side. Microphone, please.
Thank you for that comment.
So very last one on the other side. Microphone, please.
Thank you for that comment.
So very last one on the other side. Microphone, please. So very last one on the other side. Microphone, please.
Thank you. Francisco Songani, Africa Public Health Foundation. Congratulations, this is a good move. Thank you. To set the structure right now to regulate the profession. One practical suggestion, this is a good move. The mandate of this institution will deal with recognition and certification. I would hope, and this could be the expectation, that it will also recognize the profession at the country level. And this probably will be good to deal with that now from the beginning, to approach the countries to assess how similar institutions could be established at the country, so that the same approach in terms of recognition and certification will be used at the country level. Because come some 10 years, 20 years, we'll hear that if you are not getting the certification from the college, you might not be fully qualified to operate. And that has to be dealt with right now. That will be my suggestion.
Thank you for that suggestion. We have actually taken lessons from the College of the Surgeons, East and Central African Surgeons. And what they do, they work with local institutions to actually conduct the training, do the work on their behalf, and the college certifies those institutions to be able to actually issue college certifications. So institutions that are interested in aligning with the college in the various countries will also join the college and also be able to, on behalf of the college, issue some of these certifications. But this is going forward. This is what the College of Surgeons does. And we're hoping that we can mimic that going forward. Thank you. Surgeons does. And we're hoping that
So thank you very much. There are a few questions here, but I think they have been addressed. Is there? So thank you very much. There are a few. Will there be practical parts in collaboration with industry? Have been addressed. Is there? Addressed, yeah. And then is there practical collaboration with industry that is addressed already? So I want to say a very big thank you to all of you, and we hope that SCoMRA has been announced and the next steps are clear. And we hope that SCoMRA has been announced and the next steps are clear. Has been announced at SCoMRA, and the next steps are very clear. Early next year, the expression of interest is coming, and I hope that many of you, some of you I know for over 20, 25 years, would put in and support the work of the college. I thank you very much, and join me to thank our resource person, Ms. Gugu Malango. I thank you very much, and thank you very much. And over to you, Chin. We are done. Ms. Gugu Malango. Thank you very much, and thank you very much. And over to you, Chin. We are done. Ms. Gugu Malango. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. And We are done.
Good morning once again. So we'll move to the last session of the day. Good morning once again. Do we know the last session of the day? We'll move to the not dinner. Last session of the day. Good morning. Showcasing the digital platforms. We'll not be able to go into the official opening because the minister is not here yet. Showcasing the digital. So we'll go into that session because it will also be very difficult to bring people here once they go into panel sessions. So we'll go into the showcasing of digital platforms, and then we'll come for the official opening. So I would now like to invite the chairperson of the IMS Technical Committee, Mr. Bayomi. So I would now like to invite the chairperson of the IMS Technical Committee, Mr. Bayomi. So I would now like to invite the chairperson of the IMS Technical Committee, Mr. Bayomi.
Morning. Good morning. Distinguished delegates, colleagues, friends. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this very important meeting. And I'm so happy to be here to be the moderator of this particular session. The important session is showcasing the digital platform that we have worked on over the years and that we felt is going to be one of the the foundation of Africa evolving regulatory ecosystem. And today we are showcasing about 7, and I would like to invite some of the panelists that will showcase those platform. We have Madeleine from Vector Life Sciences. Please come over. Madeleine, Vector Life Sciences, is a leading expert in terms of ECTD and is going to present to us on certain information on ECTD for Africa. Please, and is going to present to us. Have your seat. And the next person is Gideon Moremi. Please move fast because we don't have much time. Gideon Moremi is an IT expert, PPB. They are the one that are hosting us, and is going to present our model regulatory information management system, which is a system we're advocating for to ensure that we have seamless regulatory process captured electronically. Then the next one is Mr. Ambele Nwafule, who is an IT expert from Tanzania, IT manager from Tanzania, a very novel, innovative person, and is going to present to us on API database. Is a consultant on that, and also Kudawa Kwase Dandajena is coming on board to present on Afri-Vigilance platform. And McNeil is coming on board to present on Iran Wachira is going to present on electronic common regulatory expert system. Please come on board. And last but not the least, Gabriel. Gabriel, please come on board. And last, Gabriel Maxelan. Gabriel, please come on board. Gabriel Maxelan. Gabriel Maxelan. Thank you. Okay, Neil. Thank you. Thank you. Neil. Thank you. I think I still need somebody here. Mr. Gabriel. Thank you. In case it's not here, we still expect you. I think I still need somebody here. Mr. Gabriel. Thank you. In case it's not here, we have expect you. Very, very intelligent set of people here. And within our time, we need to, we have little time because we are trying to meet up with the time. And I don't know whether we'll be able to finish, but at least if we can't finish, wherever we stopped, we can continue in the evening. If we can't finish, wherever we stopped, we can continue in the evening. The information sharing platform is one of the major platforms that has been deployed. And we have about 7 people here. I would like to have you for 7 or 8 minutes. Do we agree on that? 7 or 8 minutes for your presentation. Do we agree on that? Thank you. Thank you. Because I would love every one of us to hear what we have to say, and so that they can contribute effectively. And also to the audience, I think after that, we will have about 2 or 3, I will welcome 5 questions from the floor, so that at least we can come up with something important from us. And I would like to say that we have done well, and we are showcasing this in a new manner. And I would like to welcome my brother, Mr. O'Neill, to present on regulatory information sharing platform, which is a platform that we have been working on over the years, and we are proud to present this to the distinguished delegates. So, the Secretariat, please, the presentation. Mr. O'Neill, over to you. Please, the presentation. Mr. O'Neill, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. That's not very positive. Good morning, everyone. I think when coming, we had some very nice plans, so I should expect that it should be a very good day for everyone. Good morning once more. Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Martin Mohango, and I work for AUDNEPA, and here I'm be showcasing the regulator information sharing platform. I believe most of you, a couple of times, I think you've heard about it. And we do recall last year we did present on the progress that we made on this particular platform. I'm pretty much happy to present to you the efforts that we really put in place in ensuring that this platform really addresses some of the needs and requirements of our particular stakeholders. This can be at continental, this can be at regional, as well as this can also be at national level. I really have to take very special recognition of the support that we get from NRAs in terms of working together in establishing this particular platform. So in 7-minute presentation, allow me, I'll give you a pretty brief on who we are and why we do this, what are our digital platforms, what are some of the features and capabilities. Time permitting, I'll be able to give a live demonstration and also hand over to my colleagues who will be able to present some of the innovations or solutions that are there. So starting with, please, next slide, please. So as I've rightly indicated, as African Union Development Agency, we're really working hard ensuring that we are strengthening the capabilities of NRA, and some of the capabilities is establishing effective systems for information sharing. We pretty much coordinate and support, ensuring that we provide a system where it's user-friendly, easily integrated to other platforms. And the idea really is to ensure that we can provide a shared platform that should help reduce cost and also support NRAs that want to have systems in place. So at the end of the day, really, is to make sure that we improve efficiency as well as we support harmonization and resilience. So we're really here to help, providing those integrated systems to facilitate information sharing. Next slide, please. So a quick overview of some of the platforms that we have. The first one is the RICIP, which is the Regulatory Information Sharing Platform. Pretty much this is where we are consolidating all the pharmaceutical products that are being submitted by the NRAs. We are also consolidating the clinical trials. We're also consolidating the pharmacovigilance, as well as consolidating all medical devices that are being registered with the NRAs. So what we're pretty much doing is to provide a continental picture of all these elements. So you would come on our platform to say, okay, for instance, where in Africa are paracetamol drugs registered? Just a typical use case, and the system would be able to provide you all that particular information. And it's not only about pharmaceutical drugs, as they say, but I've readily indicated, or even clinical trials. Yesterday, we had a very beautiful presentation on the clinical trials that have been conducted, and one of the facilities of this particular platform is to be able to integrate to all new or upcoming or legacy systems where all this information can be shared by different stakeholders so that we can provide a consolidated continental view of all respective activities like the clinical trials, medical devices, and what have we. We are all talking about AI, and we are also taking a very active role in ensuring that we adopt AI in our particular platform. So one of the AI services that we've just introduced is what we're calling the MRH AI Assistant and Drug Literature Monitoring. So this is an AI-powered chatbot, which is available on the RICIP. And pretty much what we've done is to consolidate the literature of the regulations of all the member states, and we've been able to train this particular AI so that it can respond to all regulatory information or services that you may request. I think one of this particular service can also be accessed on the mobile app. How many of you are using the mobile app? Can I see a hand, please? I think we have over 400 who are using the app, and I believe that one of the features that you see when you go on the mobile app is the AI service. So this is part of the regulatory RICIP improvements that we've done. So if you ask any questions about a particular procedure or service, this particular AI assistant will help you. The drug literature monitoring is also one of the facilities that we've just enhanced on the RICIP. So what is happening is that all the submissions that are done by NRAs, or all the data, all the information that we're collecting from the NRAs in terms of registered drugs per country, the system has been designed that it can help in identifying any black boxes or any issues or any red flags in terms of that particular drug, and the system would be able to verify and provide you all that information to say, okay, this particular drug, there's issues in this particular region. So it's pretty automated, and we're happy to say that we're using AI to generate that kind of drug safety monitoring. Of course, we also have the electronic continental regulatory expert solution, which I'm happy that one of our colleagues will be able to present. We also have the API database, which one of our colleagues will also be able to present. So next slide, please. The issues in this particular region. So I think in terms of features and capabilities, I think I'll summarize in terms of what we're doing. So information sharing using the chatbots for regulatory queries that you may have across the continent. Registry for medicines, medical devices, clinical trials. We also have the partnership platform. Pretty much, we do have partners that we're working together at continental level, regional level. We are providing an interface where you as a partner, you can go on this particular platform and you will be able to identify particular activities or programs or work plans or program or training activities that you want to support. So suppose, just for an example, we say maybe Zimbabwe is looking for support to undertake particular training in, say, AI. You as a partner, you can go on the interface and express that interest to support this particular process. All of this is in the RICIP. Of course, the training dashboard, we also provided that. And also to make sure that we're up to date, making sure that we are able to collect and provide real-time information. We've also developed a very comprehensive M&D dashboard system. It was, I think, four or 5 weeks ago where we engaged with the NRAs to define the parameters in terms of the indicators, and which we've gladly did, and that has also that's what has been fed into the M&D dashboard. And we're supporting workflow support, data from NRAs validated, or data can be imported, and also we're providing a very beautiful interface where NRAs who have existing systems or they're thinking of building systems, you can actually generate a code to directly connect to the receipt. In that way, we believe that we can provide an interface for easy data sharing. At the end of the day, really, it's we're providing harmonization capabilities, where, you know, when we talk about data, in the next SCoMRA, we should be able to report the enormous work that we've done in terms of consolidating, working with the NRAs, working with partners, to really provide a very good view of the performance and certain key areas in terms of product regulation. Next slide, please. I think that's my last slide. Okay. Next slide. Yeah, so just quickly a minute, just to show this is the landing page, which would give you an on-site of what the receipt is all about. And you could sign in, and we have to approve that particular registration. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. I think that's my... Yeah, when you land at the landing page, you'll be greeted with the work that we're currently doing. I think yesterday there was a mention that there are 12 registrations that have been approved at continental level, and you can really drill down per country to see what is happening. You know, as you can see, product submissions by NRAs. So all of that can actually be accessed through this particular platform. Next slide, please. When you land at the landing page, I think I've rightly indicated about the regulatory AI assistant. We're really moving fast. We're really moving as fast as we can to ensure that we have a consolidated knowledge base that can provide instant responses to some of the key issues in regards to regulatory services across the continent, and you could access that there. We've done a very good job in consolidating all those documents, official documents, I should say, and we've been able to train this particular AI. Next slide, please. This is just an example of the pharmaceutical products at continental level. And as I've rightly said, you could be able to flag this, you could actually see which products have been flagged and what have we. Next slide, please. We've done a very good job in consolidating also the partnership coordination platform, where I've rightly said that as partners, you could be able to go on our platform and being able to establish those kind of coordination mechanisms. If you want to support particular training, if you want to support a particular intervention, this is the platform where you can actually do that. Next slide, please. I think there was also an element of work plans. We know, I think at MRH level, we do have that work plan that different partners are able to support, and we're providing a very intuitive interface where that can be done. Next slide, please. As well as the capacity building dashboards. As you can see, these are some of the areas of intervention. I think at continental level, we've been able to identify 875 training needs. And, you know, that's a huge number. Therefore, there's a need of a coordinated system to support that. Next slide, please. And also rightly mentioned about monitoring and evaluation dashboard. And this data would come from different sources, imported, integrated to the AI, integrated through API services and other ways. And we believe that this would provide a very good interface for monitoring performance across the continent. Next slide, please. And
Thank you.
at this juncture, thank you very much. I can hear my chair. I just want to say thank you you very much. And if there are any questions, please feel free to get in touch. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Neil. That was a wonderful one. I think we can see that we have provided a solution that will be very, very relevant for us to harvest data across the countries, across the NRS, across the region, and make provision for that for us. And you can't ask for more, but we are increasing, we are improving on it daily based on feedbacks that we have for us to be able to interact and ensure that at least we have more information handy for regulatory decision across the country. Thank you so much, Mr. Neil. I think, please, write down your questions and please, and target it to whosoever, the presenter or that will be required. And the next one we are presenting here, I'm glad to present Mr. Hiran Wachira, who is a consultant on that developed the Electronic Continental Regulatory Expert System, which is a system to manage the experts within the continent. And you agree with me at the last session, on the last session we had, we talked something about managing the experts. And a platform has been developed which we can leverage on, at least as a starting point for that. So on this note, I want to welcome Mr. Iran. Please, 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Thank you. Within the continents. And you agree with me?
Thank you very much, our chairperson, and good morning, everybody. My name is Ahira Maina. I'm presenting Electronic Continental Regulatory Expert Solution. And first and foremost, to appreciate the UDANEPA team for the very good work and guidance. Madam Chim and the team, our project manager being Alex Juma. We've been able to execute these, and it's an operational system. Further, I think based on the team that are here, this is mainly homegrown and African continent experts. And I really want to appreciate various organizations who have given us an opportunity, I think, to keenly highlight Director General TMDA, who gave us an opportunity to develop something for them and trusted our expertise, Dr. Fimbo. I will start on our next slide, please. I'll definitely take a few minutes. I'll do a little bit of the rationale, overview of the increase, the functionalities, and who are the main actors, and a little bit of the workflow overview, and the system access and conclusion. I will not go to the live presentation because of time that we have, but I believe we'll have an opportunity to interact with the system. And some of us, I know we've already interacted with the system. Next slide, please. The functionality. Next slide. And who are the main actors? And a little bit of the overview. I believe the foundation of safety is management of experts who basically support the safety, efficacy, and quality of pharmaceutical products. And I think there's that need that there is always a requirement to have a robust expert management system. In an MRA, we always call it as qualified assessors, or people whom are able to do the assessment. And basically, such a tool is to allow centralization and to streamline collaboration, knowledge exchange, and also expertise. And mainly at this juncture is on the continental level. And that is why we called it Electronic Continental Expert Solution. And by leveraging on data integration, AI-driven search, and scalable cloud architecture, that based on its architecture or the development foundation, the solution has enabled real-time communication, and it allows for efficient dissemination of regulatory experts, I believe, for them who have been able to interact, and mainly with the goal of powering Africa with a unified network of some pharmaceutical regulatory experts. Next slide, please. What you can see on the presentation is mainly the interface, and it's a secure AUDA-NEPAD platform for coordinating regulatory experts across Africa. And this is also aligned to the end goal, which is the Continental Regulatory Information Management, which will allow for regulatory coherence, transparency, and efficiency. Basically taking into component of dossier management, but now increase taking the aspect of experts management. Primarily, it does a centralization of experts, profile, competence tracking, expression of interest-based evaluation for transparent, data-driven appointment. Fortunately, the system was actually rolled out, was actually launched, and we really managed to support two expression of interest, and we had almost 200 plus applications through the same platform, which are under evaluation at the moment. Next slide, please. A little bit of the technical aspect of it in terms of how we've structured the system. It has a public dashboard just for you to view one or two things. One, list of approved or authorized experts, a little bit of the secretariat dashboard, and also allowing the technical committees to be able to access. And this is mainly to support management, the administration aspect, but also the operationalization aspect of it, because at the end of the day, it's always founded on who is supporting its operation. This is assignment of tasks. I will not really call them tasks. Alex calls them dossier. And I believe that is the foundation of it. So it really supports that. And it has hand in hand what we call regulatory experts dashboard, which primarily supports you as a person. It provides you a profile interface where you are able to manage your profile, your expression of interest application, and also managing the assigned assessments, which you are able to execute within a timely manner. It has a centralized document management as a repository. This is basically, most of the time we do the assessment a little bit offline, and we do upload what you call a report, assessment report. So it provides that support. And much importantly, as other systems, notifications, alerts, they're quite an important part, which will be incorporated, reports and analytics. And finally, we always say systems must be interoperable. So we've put up a very strong system integration layer, which is future ready. So in case we have other systems coming on board, I believe CRIMS, our Continental Regulatory Information Management System, will be able to integrate seamlessly, and we have a unified execution. Next slide, please. And finally, the main actors at the moment we've had two. I'll call it the regulatory experts, who are the primary users who create, manage their profiles, showcasing or presenting their qualification and expertise. We call them credentials, and they are able to undertake mandates. And these are mainly assignments on dossier assessment. Then we have the administrators. This is the IT, but most importantly, the main actors at the moment we've had two. I'll call it the regulatory experts, who are the primary users who create, manage their profiles, showcasing or presenting their qualification and expertise. We call them credentials, and they are able to undertake mandates. And these are mainly assignments on dossier assessment. Then we have the administrators. This is the IT, but most importantly, the main actors at the moment we've had two. I'll call it the regulatory experts, who are the primary users who create, manage their profiles, showcasing or presenting their qualification and expertise. We call them credentials, and they are able to undertake mandates. And these are mainly assignments on dossier assessment. Then we have the administrators. This is the IT, but most importantly,
Thank you. Thank you. Please, we have to continue immediately after the opening ceremony. I want to appreciate everybody for listening to us. Thank you. You are welcome, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And I hand over to Madam Chin. Thank you. Thank you. Please, we have to continue immediately after the opening ceremony. I want to appreciate everybody for listening to us. Thank you. You are welcome, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And I round over to Madam Chin.
Thank you very much, and apologies, we disrupted your session. But we should be continuing soon after break. We recognize the Cabinet Secretary for Health for Kenya, HE Aden Duale, representing the head of state. You're welcome, sir. We also recognize the presence of the governor of the Mombasa County, HE Abdul Swadi Sharif. I hope I've pronounced your name well, sir. Your Excellency, the Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development at the African Union Commission, Her Excellency Ambassador Ama Adomwa Tum Emwa. Excellency, the Director General of the African Medicines Agency, Madame Delese Mimi Dako, the Director of Human Capital and Institutional Development at the African Union Development Agency, Mr. Smear Gray Johnson, representing our CEO, Madame Nados Bekele Thomas, also the representative of the Regional Director for WHO Afro, Madame Dr. Onyango, you're welcome. The Chairman of Board, you've been with us since we started, the Chairman of Board of the Kenya Pharmacy and Poisons Board, Dr. John Munyu, the Acting CEO of the Kenya Pharmacy and Poisons Board, Dr. Mohammed, the Chair of the AMRH Steering Committee, Dr. Bitumelo Semete, as well as the Chair of our partnership platform representing our partners, Dr. Vincent Tihon, my colleagues from the AU family, the African Union Commission, colleagues from the African Union Development Agency, colleagues from the Africa CDC, colleagues from the African Medicines Agency. It is always a pleasure to work with us, with all the agencies as a family. And this is one of the occasions where we are working together as one big African Union family. Also, I recognize the presence of other UN agencies that we work with collaboratively. My colleagues from WHO, Joint Secretariat, we have as well our colleagues from UNDP, our colleagues from UNFPA, and our other colleagues from UN agencies that are present here. Our partners who are in the partnership platform, new and old partners that have worked with us over the years that we have been implementing the African Medicines Regulatory Harmonization Initiative, and now we are transitioning to the African Medicines Agency. We really appreciate your collaboration and your partnership. That has led us to get to the point at which we are. Our friends from the media, we are here today because you've enabled us to communicate and reach out, and we are here. Really, we are very hopeful that you are going to take the message forward. Distinguished guests from the academia, research institutions, and other civil society organizations and others that are present, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Let me once again thank you for coming to this session and for being part of this African Medicines Regulatory Harmonization journey for the last 16 years that we have been working it to reach the milestone that we have reached today. Most sincerely, we would like to thank the government of Kenya, represented here by the Honorable Cabinet Secretary. The government of Kenya has been a true partner, not just in this SCoMRA, but way from the beginning of the AMRH to get us to where we are. We collaborate on a number of initiatives. You're hosting
has really made us feel at home even for this event. Some of us have been here for the last 3-4 days, but we feel really that we are at home. So we really appreciate your hospitality. You're hosting us in this beautiful city of Mombasa. We really feel welcomed, and we hope to be coming back more often to Mombasa. We see how beautiful it is and how beautiful the people of Kenya are. Thank you very much. Asante sana. I really would like to appreciate at this point the coordination that we have had with the government colleagues, my colleagues from the AUD and EPAD, my colleagues from the AMA, Africa CDC, WHO, and others that were part of the organizing committee. We've worked diligently to make this SCoMRA a very monumentous occasion for the continent, an occasion that will live in the history of the continent, an occasion that will transition us from what we have been doing over the years through the AMRH to the African Medicines Agency. Your presence, your support, your leadership in the organizing committee has made a difference. We have had close to 1,000 people that registered for this event. And in here, we thank you. I mean, you have reached, we were expecting half of the people to attend physically, 500, but we have reached more than 600 participants. It is really, really meaningful to us. And it shows the support that you have to the continental agenda on regulatory harmonization. And it shows that we all want to work together in achieving the AU Agenda 2063 goal of every African, regardless of where they are, regardless of their status in the society, should have access to quality assured, safe, and effective medical products that will respond to their health needs. That's why we are gathered here today. And your presence is a testament that we all want to work together to achieve this goal. I would like to say this is the 7th SCoMRA, 7th. But as we have been moving from the first SCoMRA, I remember when we were designing it, we were asking ourselves questions. Margaret, you were there. We were asking ourselves questions. Are we doing enough in terms of regulation as a science? Are we doing enough in terms of research, regulatory research? Are we sharing enough in terms of academic development when it comes to regulatory science as a profession? We had to answer ourselves honestly at the beginning when we were starting with the first SCoMRA. We said we need a gathering that will enable us to share, to exchange, to really appreciate and know what is happening in the development when it comes to regulatory science. And over the years, we've seen that this conference has grown. As we count from the 1st to the 7th, we can see that it has grown in scope, what we discuss, the maturity. When we called for abstracts for the first scientific conference, very few came. We were like, are we going to pull this through? But look today, we were able to receive over 150 abstracts. And actually, we did not have enough time to accommodate all those abstracts. Thank you to you all who submitted abstracts. We have also grown when it comes to the diversity of the participants. Regulatory science will not advance just by regulators alone. We need more than the regulators and the national regulatory authorities. In the session that we just closed, which was looking at the College of African Regulatory Science Professionals, proposals on how we want to move forward, it was noted that regulatory science is beyond just national regulatory authorities. There are regulators in the industry, in the academia, in research. We need to ensure that all those regulators are involved and engaged, they are engaged in our dialogue. We need the civil society as well to participate. We've seen in this conference that the diversity has really grown, and we thank you all for that commitment to the continental agenda that will ensure health security, as well as continental sovereignty. It is an issue of continental sovereignty. It is an issue of sustainability of our peoples, and it is an issue that we cannot leave anyone behind. So thank you for all your commitment. And at this point in time, I would like to take this opportunity to invite our host, the Kenya Pharmacy and Poisons Board, the chairman of board, to welcome us to this opening ceremony, official opening ceremony of SCoMRA. I invite you, the chairperson, Dr. Munyu. Thank you.
Honorable Aden Duale, Cabinet Secretary for Health, Your Excellency Abdul Samad Sharif, Governor Mombasa County, Your Excellency Ambassador Ama Adoma Tumu Amor, the Commissioner for Africa, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development at the African Commission, Your Excellency Dr. Mimi Dako, Director General for Africa Medicines Agency, Your Excellency Jean Kasser, Director General, Africa Center for Disease Control, Africa CDC, Madam Dr. Onyango, representing the Regional Director, World Health Organization, Afro Region, Dr. Fatuma Adan, representative for the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, Dr. Vincent Tihon, the Chairman, Africa Medicines Regulatory Harmonization, Dr. Tumi Semete, Chairperson, Africa Medicines Regulatory Harmonization, heads of national regulatory authorities present, distinguished delegates, development partners, members of the fifth estate, the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the Conference Organizing Committee, the African Union Development Agency, AUDA NEPAD, the World Health Organization, the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, it is my profound honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome each one of you to this 7th biennial scientific conference on medical products regulation. Allow me at this juncture to specially extend a special thank you to the Governor from Mombasa County, His Excellency Abdul Samad Sharif, for hosting us here in this beautiful coastal city of Mombasa. Asante sana, Bwana Governor. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I would say we find ourselves in Africa and in terms of Africans' health security in a precarious position because we are at the moment importing 90% of medicines and producing less than 1% of vaccines. This is a critical weakness we must address as a continent. Over the past 10 years, Africa Medicines Regulatory Harmonization Program has been the cornerstone of our efforts, building robust regulatory systems from the national to the regional level through guideline harmonization and digitalization. As we move from the strong foundation built through the Africa Medicines Regulatory Harmonization Initiative to the Africa Medicines Agency, we must reflect on the past 10 defining years that have prepared the way. These efforts have laid the groundwork for a more self-reliant Africa and advanced our progress towards greater regulatory convergence across the entire continent. Undoubtedly, ladies and gentlemen, this SCoMRA 7 is a strategic platform to translate the promise of African Medicines Agency into reality. Our goal is to catalyze local manufacturing, facilitate trade under the Africa Continent Free Trade Agreement, and ensure that quality medical products reach everyone in need within the African continent. Ladies and gentlemen, we must now move from dialogue to decisive action. I urge you all, regulators, policymakers, academics, researchers, manufacturers, and development partners to engage openly and constructively so that we leave this beautiful city of Mombasa with a clear, actionable roadmap. The Africa or the potential for Africa is undoubtedly great, and strengthening our ability to manufacture and engage in intra-Africa trade of health products is well within our reach. Achieving this will require strong collaboration across the continent. This collaboration is what Your Excellency, Madam Mimi, you are providing through AMA. Again, let me take this opportunity to reaffirm that the continent should and is fully behind you, and all the member states will support AMA to ensure its successful takeoff. I wish to take this opportunity to thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, and wish you all a productive and engaging conference here in this beautiful city of Mombasa. Asanteni sana na karibuni Mombasa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson of the Kenya Pharmacy and Poisons Board, for welcoming us to this occasion. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, let me invite the Chairperson of the African Medicines Regulatory Harmonization Steering Committee, Dr. Bitumelo Semete, who is going to give us remarks from the steering committee on behalf of the entire AMRH Family Steering Committee member states. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. A special welcome to the Honorable Cabinet Secretary. We thank you for gracing us with your presence today. To our honorable and distinguished guests, as well as dignitaries, I will stand on the shoes of Ms. Chim, who honored all of you adequately. And to all our guests who have joined us, our partners, as well as the friends of AMRH. We welcome you to the 7th Scientific Conference on Medicinal Product Regulation in Africa. This is an important platform where, as regulators and our partners, as well as others in regulatory sciences, gather to engage on developments in regulation. The team has done an excellent job in putting together what I really see to be an exciting program. This program is current, in that it addresses matters that we're all grappling with as regulators. When you look at the contents of the program, you see that there's opportunity for us to engage on these emerging elements in regulation, but also for us to come out of this meeting with solutions. When you look at the program, we tackle matters of public health emergencies, which we know that as regulators, we are part of the continental agenda around being prepared for the next epidemic or pandemic. There are matters of clinical trials that we're engaging on, topics such as pragmatic trial design, first in human studies. And again, it is critical that we discuss this because You cannot have a local manufacturing industry, but not have capacity to clinically evaluate those trials. And so these are important discussions for us. Emerging topics such as artificial intelligence, as well as digital platforms, are core in this meeting's agenda. An important element that we're grappling with as regulators, and I think we're making headway, but a lot still needs to be done and it needs to be in a coordinated fashion, is how we will collectively address the challenges around substandard and falsified products. And again, you see this being integral into our program. And so we look forward to some of the deliberations on this very important topic, a topic that requires that we work together as one Africa to say, how do we ensure the safety of the people on our continent? Local manufacturing is core, and I'm glad that many of us as regulators have put in place mechanisms, strategies, and policies to support the local industry. When I look at what's happening across the world, I must commend our African regulators. We've probably, over the last decade, made the biggest advances in regulatory science. And I'd like to thank the leadership that we have in Madame Gugu and the colleagues that are leading now the college, because it is their thinking that led us to a point where we can collaborate as all 55 NRAs and say, how do we tackle this area of regulation? How do we make sure that we're ready for everything that is advancing in the health sector? And so as regulators, we are ready to support local manufacturers. Our DG eloquently also expressed this yesterday. And so we look forward to being part of these deliberations. As AMRH, we are honored and we're thrilled that we're finally transitioning into AMA. As you all have heard, that this has always been the design, that AMRH will be the foundation of AMA. We have and we will be handing over the baton, having delivered on significant advances. And I would really like to thank the AMRH Steering Committee over the number of years, the AMRH Secretariat over the many years. It is exciting and it is an honor that we hand over what has already been established. Just to highlight some of these areas, we have, as the MRH, listed 12 medicinal products. We have also listed 3 diagnostic products. We have guidelines in place that enable us to do the work that we have. We have the model law that, as indicated yesterday, has been institutionalized in a number of member states. We have the RISP that you've heard about earlier, and we have a very capable team in our technical committees. And thus, as we said yesterday, AMA is not starting off a zero base. The foundation has been laid, it needs to be strengthened, and we all, as heads of agency, commit our support to our DG. AMA is ours, it belongs to all 55 of us, and AMA's success is our success. And with that, I hope you will enjoy this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Bitumelo, for your statement. But I think it will be unfair if we don't clap strongly for the steering committee. They have done a wonderful job in providing leadership, oversight, mobilizing and bringing together the heads of agencies towards one common agenda. Collaboration, harmonization, trust. It's not easy, but they are moving mountains. Thank you very much, ma'am. At this point in time, let me invite the chairperson of the AMRH Partnership Platform, a partnership platform that has been very instrumental in pulling together different partners towards one plan, one goal, collective impact on regulatory harmonization that is leading us to AMA today. So you're welcome, Dr. Vincent
John.
Good morning. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, colleagues, ladies, gentlemen, friends towards a strong regulatory system in Africa. All protocol observed. Good morning again. It is an honor and privilege to be here. And let me begin by first expressing our heartfelt gratitude to the government and people of Kenya for your warm welcome and the gracious hospitality. It is always inspiring to be here in a country that continues to lead by example in health and regulatory excellence. Allow me also to extend a warm congratulations once more to the nominated Director General for AMA, Dr. Semele Mimidako. Congratulations to you. And it's really a good moment and a defining moment. And we really want to express and confirm that from the partnership platform and partners, we are really with you on this route. This is a clear signal, with AMA being there, here and now, that the continent is ready to move from vision to full implementation. AMA is happening right now, here, and we are so excited about it. Over the past decade, we've witnessed tremendous progress across Africa. National regulatory authorities becoming stronger, reaching maturity level 3 for some, regional harmonization initiatives gaining momentum, and the AMRH program laying the foundation for a coherent, trusted, and efficient regulatory system. Congratulations to all. These achievements have been possible thanks to true partnership among government, regional economic authorities, African Union, AUDA NEPAD, WHO, development partners, and the whole community. Today, I want to reaffirm our collective commitment as partners to continue supporting Africa's regulatory agenda at continental, regional, and national levels. Our shared goal is simple but profound: a strong, smart, and sustainable regulatory ecosystem that guarantees access to quality, safe, and effective medical products for all. As we look to the future, our aspirations are high, and rightly so. And to reach them, we must also work smarter, ensuring that our efforts are well coordinated and aligned, guided by African priorities. And I call upon my fellow partners to be better in listening and aligning, bringing some flexibility and agility to listen to the needs, adjust to the priorities, adjust or support accordingly to ensure efficiencies and synergies rather than duplications. We want to move forward as one team at continental, regional, and national levels. We want to avoid fragmentation and duplication because ultimately, our agenda is your agenda. Partnership means listening, aligning, and building systems that endure, systems grounded in scientific excellence, institutional strength, and sustainability. And yes, we might have to be a little bit patient because to build an institution takes time. Building robust regulatory systems, leadership, and persistence will bring progress and will come step by step with determination and trust. I think we talked a lot about trust in the past days. Let's build that together. Together to continue and build an Africa where every patient, in every community can trust the quality of their medical products, an Africa that leaves no country, no region, no agencies, and no one behind. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vincent Horn, representing the family of partners of the AMRH, which will be transitioning together with the Secretariat and all its structures to the African Medicines Agency. At this point in time, I would like to invite the representative of the Executive Secretary for IGAD, Dr. Fatuma Adan. Regional economic communities have played an important role in giving us the proof that this can work. They are the ones that have shown us that we can indeed work together. We can agree on standards, guidelines, and processes. We can do joint assessments and evaluations, approve a product that countries can rely on the report. So thank you very much for all the work that you have done, regional economic communities. Over to you, Madam Fatuma.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chim, for those kind words, and I stand here on behalf of all the regional economic communities in the House. I am here to read the speech of His Excellency Dr. Werkene Gebeyehu, the IGAD Executive Secretary, and I am his head of mission to the Republic of Kenya, and therefore I take this opportunity to recognize our guest of honor, Honorable Minister for the Health, the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Adan Duale, His Excellency Governor Abdul Samad, the Governor of Mombasa, Her Excellency, my sister, Ambassador Amma, the Commissioner Health, Humanitarian Affairs in the African Union Commission, and the Director General of Amma, my sister, Mimi Dako, the Chairperson of the Africa Medicines Regulatory Harmonization, and all the other distinguished delegates, the AUD and EPAD, my sister, Dr. Onyango, who is with us. It is a great honor to welcome you to the 7th Scientific Conference on Medicines Product Regulation in the continent. And I want to take this opportunity to thank particularly AUD and EPAD, the World Health Organization, for organizing this very important conference, as well as the government and the people of Kenya for hosting us in this beautiful city. I know Governor would speak to this, but Mombasa is a historic city, and it has been for centuries hosting meetings for trade, science, and knowledge exchange, and therefore it is befitting place to reflect on the continent's path towards health sovereignty and to shape the next phase of our collective regulatory journey as a continent. This year's theme, Excellencies, Regulatory Harmonization and Unlocking Africa's Potential in Health Product Manufacturing and Trade, speaks to the defining moment for our continent. Across Africa, we've made commitments, and I think we've heard from the previous speakers, to strengthen our regulatory institutions, to increase our pharmaceutical production, and to ensure that our people in the continent have reliable access to safe, reliable, quality-assured medical products across. Today, we meet not only to review the progress that we've made as a continent, but also to devise strategies on how to accelerate regulatory harmonization, convergence, and strengthen our local health products across. We have gathered as a continent here at a pivotal time and a moment of transition. Recently, as you've heard from the previous speaker, in Kigali, the Africa continent has welcomed its inaugural Director General of the African Medicines Agency, Dr. Mimi Dako. Congratulations again for this appointment. You will all agree with me that her appointment marks a turning point for the continent, and for the first time, AMA enters a new era that is led by a seasonal African regulator with a continental mandate, which is backed by political will to coordinate, but also harmonize and elevate our systems in Africa. And indeed, colleagues, this is not simply an institutional milestone. You would agree with me that it is a declaration of clear intent that Africa is choosing to lead and to define its own destiny. For many years, our regulatory agenda has been driven through technical collaboration and dedication of individual experts. However, our ambition as a continent requires that we do more. It requires building a sustainable regulatory systems that are anchored in an established legal framework, structured accountability, shared investment, effective coordination, and a strategic center of gravity. And therefore, under the leadership of the DG of the African Medicine Agency, we now have an African institution that would guide medicine's regulatory work with authority, with a vision, and a sustainability lens. SCoMRA has always brought us together. I think this is the 7th SCoMRA, and as we reflect, and we've had rich scientific discussions and dialogue, we had knowledge exchange, we've met, we networked, but now we must transition to a platform that produces shared commitment and measurable implementation and generates results to ensure that we leave a legacy. I think we need to do that. Our regulatory systems are maturing, of course, with challenges. And our scientists, innovators, and manufacturers are also building an ecosystem that will nurture future innovation, research, and development to support local manufacturing and a strong foundation for the new health economies in the Africa region. This gathering, therefore, today should be remembered as a turning point and a moment for SCoMRA stepped fully into its role as a premier science platform for Africa Medicines Agency. As I conclude, on behalf of IGAD and on behalf of all the RECs, let me take this opportunity to congratulate our government, the government of Ethiopia, and the Ethiopia Food Drug Authority, EFDA, for the attainment of maturity level 3. Ethiopia, thank you for that. I know it is a very tough process, very intensive, laborious, but thank you, Ethiopia, for leading the way. This is a global benchmark for a stable, well-functioning, and an integrated system for regulation of medical products. Again, on behalf of IGAD, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to work with our member states, the Africa Medicines Agency, AUD and FPAD, Africa CDC, other regional economic blocs, the national drug authorities, and the technical, plus our development partners to strengthen our regulatory systems. Together as a continent, we ensure that every recommendation and decisions that we make from this meeting and the partnership we will establish moves to a closer, healthier, safer, stronger, and more resilient Africa. Thank you, Asanteni, Asana.
Thank you very much, Madam, for representing other regional economic communities as an important component of the continental regulatory ecosystem. Allow me at this point in time to invite Dr. Onyango, who is representing the regional director for WHO Afro. WHO has been a very important partner since we launched the AMRH in 2009, and I think even before, when it comes to regulatory system strengthening. But when we launched the program, we were together, we are a joint secretariat, and I look forward to really seeing this collaboration growing. Thank you. Over to you, Madam.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and great pleasure to be attending the 7th Biennial Scientific Conference on Medical Products in Africa, Regulation in Africa, SCoMRA, in this beautiful city. On behalf of the World Health Organization, I extend my warm appreciation to the government of Kenya for hosting us, and I acknowledge the collaboration of all the partners that are committed to strengthening regulatory systems on the continent. Thank you. Excellencies, colleagues, this year's theme, regulatory harmonization, unlocking Africa's potential in health product manufacturing and trade, could not be more timely. It speaks directly to the intersection between regulation, innovation, and industrialization. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed our continent's heavy reliance on imported health products. As we took off our masks, one of the lessons that remained in our minds was the urgent need to invest in self-reliance, innovation, and strong regulatory systems. This conference provides an opportunity, a very important scientific platform, to reflect on progress in regulatory science and to define Africa's priorities within the evolving continental regulatory ecosystem. Strong and convergent regulatory systems are the backbone of a reliant health products ecosystem. Regulatory harmonization is not just a technical exercise, no. It's a strategic imperative for Africa's health security and economic development. It is what will enable us to accelerate the availability of quality assured health products, foster local manufacturing, and support intra-Africa trade. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, over the past decade, the African Medicines Regulatory Harmonization Initiative has catalyzed significant progress through regional joint assessments, inspection programs, and the use of common guidelines across the regional economic communities. The transition towards the African Medicines Agency represents the next phase of this evolution. It institutionalizes continental coordination, builds regulatory reliance networks, and strengthens the scientific foundation for decision-making. However, achieving this vision requires continued investment in regulatory capacity, digitalization, and workforce development. It also calls for data-driven performance measurement using tools such as the WHO's global benchmarking tool and the maturity level framework. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my induction in the SCoMRA community began only 2 days ago. What I'm hearing harks back to the aspiration to sovereignty that is topical across the continent. It's in our minds, it's on our lips, and deeply desired in our hearts. As we pursue that dream, I'd like to propose 3 guiding principles: scientific rigor in our processes, assured quality in the products that we put forward, and accountability in all we do. I come back to the point on the quality. If we want to produce products that are not just marketed within our own borders or within Africa, if we manage that, let's think about what's happening with our health workforce. We lose a lot of the health workforce, different cadres of health workers that are trained on our continent. If the quality is good, you get the markets, the buyers will come. And so our products need to be thinking about that principle. As we continue deliberations during this conference and afterwards, let us focus on evidence-based approaches that enhance regulatory agility, promote innovation, and foster regional manufacturing ecosystems that are aligned with the Africa continental free trade area. WHO remains committed to bringing its comparative advantage to the collaboration with partners as we work with member states to strengthen regulatory systems and advance harmonization as a foundation for resilient health systems and sustainable local manufacturing in Africa. Together, let's consolidate Africa's regulatory achievements into a coherent, science-driven system that accelerates access to quality-assured medical products to all Africans everywhere. Thank you. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Madam, representing WHO family. At this point in time, I would like to invite our hosts. We know our hosts when you are at home, there are so many things happening. And we fully understand that you have to welcome us and dash for something very important as well, equally important. So I would like to invite His Excellency Abdulswad Sharif, the Governor of Mombasa County, to welcome us to his home. Thank you.
Good morning. I was wondering if the microphone is a bit not working, but now I reaffirm that I'm actually the only politician in this room, me and CS Duale here. We speak with very loud voices. I served with CS, and I was just reminding him, the first time I got into Parliament, he was my senior. I still consider him as my senior. And the Speaker of the National Assembly had a very difficult time pronouncing my name. So you're not the first one and you won't be the last one. And I remember I always used to tell my late father, I used to tell him, your father gave you a very, very nice short name, Sharif Nasser. You had to make mine extremely long, Abdul Samad Sharif Nasser. And I remember telling him, a time will come and I'll get into politics and I'll fail to hold a headline because there's no newspaper that can actually fill my name. But I remember, I said something in Parliament, which, and I said this with a lot of, take it with a bit of humor, that Shakespeare once said, that which we call a rose by any other name still smells as sweet. So any name for me is very okay. First and foremost, I want to congratulate you. I want to thank you for choosing Mombasa as your preferred destination for this particular conference. The fact remains that we are not only a hub that talks about tourism, which we do have amazing beaches. I hope you all get a chance to be able to visit our beaches. We're not just a hub for logistics and trade, but we are a center of conversation. And when history is going to be able to write itself, we will be remembered that Mombasa is the place where bright minds like yourselves were able to come in. And that gives me personally a lot of joy and honor. And there's an equality between what this room holds and what a proper politician should hold. The values that you all have, the leadership, transparency, and trust, something that every typical politician should actually be able to hold. With Waziri, when he was now the CS for health, we've seen the dangers of unregulated pharmaceuticals and medical products. We've seen firsthand, and I want to congratulate his decisive action on digitizing the drug supply chain, and I'm sure he's going to be able to talk about it. We're going to be the first amongst others who are actually taking that direction, a direction that is required in this country, where a source of product can be able to be traced backwards from consumer all the way to manufacturer. And maybe just I hold no degree to be able to advise on the room that is here. The kind of brains that are here actually make me feel a bit shaky in speaking. But I think the regulation of the medical industry should not just be to tablets and syrups alone. I think we also need to be able to expand into regulating algorithm, regulating medical health apps that are out there, regulating AI solutions when it comes to health, because that is what is happening right now, where people have ceased going to a doctor and just prefer to be able to go to a mobile app or to go anywhere else. And without having these to be regulated, we're looking at quite some dangers. But probably, as any other good politician, let's not also overregulate until we now diminish some bright minds that are going to be out there, out of existence. And the task at hand is not to be able to stop, but to be able to protect. With those very many words, mine is to actually invite you here in the spirit of creating the right balance as well. I have a conference of about 5,000 teachers that I have to be able to attend to. Now, they, like yourselves, are equally an important stake. But then the CS was also reminding me that they're my voters because they're all Kenyans and majority of them are from Mombasa. So I need to create that delicate balance so I can be able to go back and discuss with them on the local issues that are there. There's one part, again, talking about regulation, we're really trying to be able to get this done. I've not been able to put this into law yet. We're trying to see and talk to the Attorney General and the County Attorney on how we're going to make this law. And we're taking this very, very seriously. Please do, and I say this as the Governor of Mombasa, one of the simple laws that we have is whatever you do, please finish all your money here. I'm informed that the Pharmacy and Poisons Board and the Ministry are at hand in the event that you finish everything and you don't have anything to be able to take you back. We don't mind lending you a couple of shillings so to take you to the airport. With those very many words, thank you very much. Karibuni Mombasa. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Governor. Be assured we are going to spend all the money here. And I've heard a number of colleagues here saying we are staying in Mombasa. We are not going after the conference. They have 1 more week. So lock the door. We will be here. Thank you very much for welcoming us. At this point in time, after the governor has welcomed us, we really want to have some Kenyan flavor. And our colleagues have prepared something to show us what Kenya can give us the African way. So let me invite the entertainment group to show us a bit of flavor of Kenya. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for showing us the Kenya flavor. And I think Africa is beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. Just the beating of the drums calls you home. You know, and I think it is similar everywhere in Africa. You can feel it. It calls you home. So really, this is showing that we are home. We are in Kenya. And thank you for your welcome. And I think talking about Africa, we are moving now to the African Union family. What brought us together as the Union to really move collectively the continental agenda on access to quality assured, safe, and efficacious medical or medicines and effective medical products to the people of Africa. We are a number of AU institutions that are driving this agenda, and collectively, we believe and we know that these institutions that you formed as member states are implementing your agenda towards ensuring quality services are provided to the people of Africa. So at this point in time, I would like to request the technical team to give us a statement from His Excellency, Dr. Jean Kasser, the Director General of the Africa Center for Disease Control. Thank you very much.
Excellency, dear colleagues and friends, I would love to be with you in Mombasa, a nice city, of course. But as you know, after the G20 meeting, I will land in London for some high-level engagement. I apologize because I don't have my suit and my tie, but I said I cannot miss this opportunity to talk to you. Let me first congratulate and thank my sister, Dr. Mimi Darko-Derek, who's leading the African Medicine Agency. As you know, we are waiting for the DG for a very long time. And Africa CDC played a major role as AUD and EPAD and other partners to operationalize AMA. You certainly know that we seconded the acting DG to AMA for 8 months paying his salary and benefits. This is our solidarity. This is because we know in Africa CDC why having a strong arm will contribute to the agenda of health and economic growth of our continent. Excellencies, colleagues, this conference is an opportunity for us to rethink what it means, the regulatory aspect. As you know, many times when partners, including pharma companies, they are addressing the continent, they are just bringing two major aspects, the regulatory aspect and the market one. But today with AMA, we have this regulatory aspect in place. Today with our national regulatory authorities, as you know, in Egypt last year, they signed an MOU to come together in a network. This is the network of 8 today plus Ethiopia, that is 9, the last one. This is the network that is supporting the work of AMA. We are calling all African countries to sign for AMA to become the continental regulatory agency. This conference is also an opportunity for you to rethink how we can support the market side because we have a strong regulatory aspect. Colleagues, I know it will be a successful conference. And I know I will miss at personal level the discussions. As you know, I enjoy to meet all of you because every day we are learning from each other. But I know my colleagues from Africa CDC are there, and I'll have opportunity to have a call with DG AMA and all other colleagues who are attending this conference to celebrate this moment where Africa is coming with our partners to say, we are changing the world. As you know, in Africa, we have a new vision that is replacing the new public health order. This new vision, approved by African head of state, is the Africa Health, Security and Sovereignty, AHSS. Please, in your speeches, in your discussions, change the new public health order by Africa Health, Security and Sovereignty. And you will see one of the key 5 pillars of this Africa Health, Security and Sovereignty is local manufacturing, regulatory aspect, and African procurement mechanism. Colleagues, you are co-creating today the Africa of the future, the Africa that will be the legacy that will give to our children and grandchildren. Let us contribute to build a safer, prosperous Africa for the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Director General of Africa Center for Disease Control, for the words of support and the collaboration that we have seen over the years. At this point in time, I would like to invite Her Excellency, Madame Dr. Delesimi Midako, the Director General of the African Medicines Agency, to give us her first official speech in SCoMRA. I know she has made a number of appearances elsewhere, but this is your conference as the Director General of the African Medicines Agency. Thank you very much. Over to you, Madam.
I'd like to ask permission for my commissioners to just say, Excellencies, good day, because time is fast spent. And Your Excellency, Cabinet Secretary, good day, and good day to everybody else. Allow me to first say a big thank you to the government of Kenya, our gracious hope, for the warm hospitality this beautiful city has given us. I promise to enjoy fully before I leave. And from what the mayor said, if there's dinner this evening and you don't see me and I say I have a meeting, it will be a lie because I'll be on the beach. It is an honor and a homecoming for me to address you today, because I stand before you not only as the inaugural Director General of the Africa Medicines Agency, but also as a regulator who has walked this journey from the national level through regional collaboration to this proud moment we now all share. Our story of harmonization in Africa did not begin today. It began nearly 2 decades ago with the establishment of the WHO African Vaccines Regulatory Forum, a bold initiative that proved that Africa could regulate together. AVRF brought regulators and ethics committees across the continent to one table, reviewing vaccine clinical trials jointly, aligning scientific opinions and building trust long before the world believed Africa could do it. That pioneering spirit inspired the birth of the Africa Medicines Regulatory Harmonization, an initiative under the AWUDA NEPAD, which expanded our focus from vaccines to all medical products. Under the AMRH, African regulators have jointly assessed and listed an amazing 12 medical products, developed reliance frameworks, and laid the technical and political foundation for what has now become the African Medicines Agency. And I'm amazed at the progress. Thank you so much. So if AVRF showed us we could act together in times of crisis, and AMRH proved that harmonization delivers results, then AMA is where we institutionalize those achievements into one permanent system, an African regulatory agency built on science, built on unity, and built on courage. The AVRF and the AMRH gave us that. The Treaty for the African Medicines Agency establishes AMA on 7 guiding principles, namely leadership, credibility, ownership, transparency, accountability, value addition, confidentiality, and commitment to sound quality management. When I went for my interview, I knew this offhand, but somehow I've forgotten them. AMA's value lies in partnership, performance, and trust. I always say that we will not replace national authorities. We will complement them. We will empower them. Countries do not do the work. AMA ensures that we add addition and we add value to what they do. Every assessment, every inspection, every substandard and falsified medical product or safety report at the national or REC level will find amplified impact through AMA's coordination and mutual recognition. I want to repeat that we will not replace any national authority. They are sovereign, and AMA will only add value to what they do. Our model is clear. We have national regulators who remain the primary custodians of quality and safety, the RECs who continue as regional engines of convergence, and AMA ensures that continental coherence, scientific integrity, and global alignment. There's no ambiguity, there's no duplication, there's only synergy. Excellencies, fellow regulators, partners, Africa does not lack capacity or lack capability. Across the continent, our regulators have shown skill, they've shown commitment, and they've shown resilience. AMA will only harness these strengths through a continental assessor, a pool of assessors, joint scientific committees, digital platforms, which will connect regulators in real time. By building on what we already have, that is our regional centers of regulatory excellence, our maturity level 3, our maturity level 4, and very soon, our WHO-listed authorities. AMA will use these reliance mechanisms, our network of qualified laboratories, and the expertise of our national regulators, and we will create a truly world-class African regulatory ecosystem. Together, we will move from isolated excellence to shared excellence. In the months ahead, AMA will operationalize digital systems linking national and regional databases for transparency and traceability. We will establish a smart continental safety platform to monitor product safety in real time. We will implement a fee-for-service model and a replenishment fund mechanism to ensure sustainability and African ownership. And we will strengthen collaboration with the Africa CDC, you heard my brother just speak, with the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, with the African Development Bank, with the World Health Organization, with the European Union, and the European Medicines Agency, my 30-year-old sister, with the AUDA NEPAD, with the Gates Foundation, CEPI, GIZ, and the German government, and all our cherished, extremely supportive partners, ensuring that all our efforts converge around one African vision. Every action will follow one principle: shared benefit, one shared success. AMA is about action, and we make the following promises to our shareholders. To the people of Africa, we assure you that every medicine reaching you will be safe, will be efficacious, and will be of the right quality. It will be regulated by Africa for Africa. To the RECs, we will recognize and support the regional building blocks of the continental regulatory system. To our governments and our ministers for health, we will ensure that there are stronger regulatory outcomes, public health protection, and efficient use of national expertise. Honorable Minister and Honorable Ministers, we urge you to empower our national regulatory authorities to become independent, stand alone, and align their laws with the recently reviewed AU Model Law on Medical Products Regulation. This alignment strengthens scientific credibility and removes political interference. It enables mutual recognition across borders and ensures faster access to quality, safe, and efficacious medical products. And this advances both national health security and Africa's collective health sovereignty. AMA will support you to do this with the Yawuda NEPAD. To industry, we promise you growth, innovation, predictability, science-based decisions, and faster harmonized pathways to market across Africa. We will make investments in Africa's pharmaceutical industry bankable. To our development allies, and you are more than partners to us, we promise you a trusted, innovative, continental authority to anchor your investment in transforming Africa's regulatory systems. To our national regulatory authorities, you are the hands and eyes and scientific strength of AMA across our 55 member states, soon to become state parties. You are AMA's scientific bone. You are AMA's scientific backbone. You are our implementing arm. You are our source of data. You are our advocates, and you are actually our champions. In line with our vision, AMA will ensure capacity building where needed and capacity strengthening where needed. You will share your work with us, and we will ensure that you have global recognition of your regulatory output. Our vision is an Africa where regulatory decisions are respected globally, where innovation from vaccines to gene therapy, and the Honorable Mayor talked about AI devices, and we will ensure that that is also recognized. And we'll ensure that these are evaluated and approved by African scientists, where local manufacturing thrives because regulatory clarity and predictability will inspire investment, and where no African is denied access to a life-saving product because of fragmented processes or regulatory delays. This is the Africa AMA is building, a continent of sovereign scientific authority, a continent that can regulate medical products for itself and for the world. Today, 31 countries have signed and ratified the AMA Treaty, and we are most grateful to those countries who have done that. But to our brothers and sisters and our member states who are still considering accession, now is the time. The Africa Medicines Agency is not for a few, it is for all. Every country that joins strengthens the collective voice of Africa in global health. Every signature brings us closer to a single continental standard that protects every citizen, supports local industry, and ensures that Africa innovation never waits at the border for approval. By ratifying the treaty, you affirm your country's place in a shared system of trust, of quality, and accountability, leading to a system that will save lives, create jobs, and build confidence in African science. Your Excellencies, I began my journey in regulation 34 years ago, and there's somebody here who can attest to that, Mr. Botri. I worked under him 34 years ago, never imagining that one day I'll be entrusted with this great mantle. 7 years into my career as a young and passionate regulator, I made a bold recommendation that all liquid medicines for children would have a measuring device. It was inspired by one baby patient, that was my own daughter. I went to the UK and I noticed that paracetamol syrup had a measuring device, but the syrups in Ghana had 1 teaspoon 3 times a day. I looked at my own teaspoon, it was different. I looked at my auntie's teaspoon, it was different. And I'm sure the teaspoons in people's villages were different. And I said to myself, the local industry in Ghana should put a measuring device on their caps. And I had challenges from industry. It would cost too much. It would add cost to the product. We cannot do it. But I said to my boss at the time, we can do it. And we persevered and we did it. And today, all products that come into the country that are liquid, that are made for children, have measuring spoons or measuring devices. And we safeguarded the lives and the safety of children up to today. It reminds me that a single decision transformed industry practice and improved the safety of medicines for countless children. It reminds me that each of us has the power to make a difference, one decision at a time. And every decision we make must put the African patient at the center always. SCoMRA began as a forum for regulators to exchange progress. Today, it is a platform where we declare that Africa's regulatory future is no longer on the horizon. It is already here and it is operational. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the government of Rwanda, the host country, for its steadfast support and for giving AMA a home to advance Africa's health sovereignty, and the Interim Secretariat for all its initial setup to make my landing easy. But once again, I want to extend my thank you to the government of Kenya, specifically for the motivation it has given me at this meeting, the backing that the chairperson said the government of Kenya and the people of Kenya are behind you. It is the motivation I have never received till I stepped into this country. Thank you so much. Let us all move forward, whether we are regulators, whether we are recs, whether we are government, industry, or partners. We are one ecosystem and one community of trust that speaks with one voice for quality in healthcare. Today, we will make history. Together, we will make history. We will change the narrative for Africa. Together, we will make Africa safe, strong, and self-reliant. AMA thanks each and every one of you for your dedication, for your support, and invites you to join AMA on this journey of transformation and progress on the very solid foundation laid by us for all of us. I thank you. I learned Swahili. It says, Mungu atubariki sote. It means God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam H.A. Dr. Delesemi Medako, for delivering your speech. We are really happy because we know you have been part of the AMRH steering committee for a long time, AVAREF, governance structure for a long time. So this system, you know it in and out. And we are very sure that we are in good hands and you will take the baton from the AMRH and AVAREF moving forward. Thank you very much, ma'am. At this point in time, it is my honor and privilege to invite the Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development of the African Union Commission. Thank you, ma'am, for your leadership in driving this agenda. We have actually the AMA DG because of the role that you played in ensuring that you push the agenda for us. So thank you very much for that, and we look forward to your speech. Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Honorable Aden Duale, Cabinet Secretary for Health of the Republic of Kenya. His Excellency Governor Sharif Nasir, who was with us here. I recognize my brother in absentia, Dr. Jean Kafea, Director General of Africa CDC. My own dear sister, Dr. Delcy Mimidako, Director General of Africa Medicines Agency. I don't like calling it AMA because it's like calling myself. I'm AMA. Distinguished heads of institutions and their representatives, cherished development partners, dear colleagues from the African Union family, dear participants, and our dearest friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you all warm greetings from the African Union Commission. On behalf of my delegation, Honorable Minister, allow me to express our deepest gratitude to you, to the governor and of course through you to the government and good people of Kenya for the warm reception accorded us. We are so grateful. Before I start, I would like to say that I agree 100% with the chair of the AMR's steering committee that AMA's success is our success. And so I cannot but add that the remaining member states who have not yet signed and ratified should do so. Because as we all know, diseases know no borders, and safeguarding our medical products is also the same. Thank you. It is a profound honor for me to address this esteemed gathering at the 7th Biennial Scientific Conference on Medicines Regulation in Africa, a platform that exemplifies our shared commitment to health sovereignty, self-reliance, and continental solidarity. This year's theme, regulatory harmonization, unlocking Africa's potential in health products manufacturing and trade, speaks directly to our enduring aspiration to build trust, and we've heard the word here, in African science, value in African markets, and confidence in African solutions. At the outset, and on behalf of the African Union Commission, I'd like to extend heartfelt appreciation to the government of the Republic of Kenya, AUDA NEPAD, the World Health Organization, and all our partners whose unwavering dedication sustains this vital forum. Over the years, this conference has evolved from a technical meeting into a continental movement, one that unites science, policy, and partnership in pursuit of a healthier, more integrated, and more resilient Africa. Honorable Minister, distinguished colleagues, permit me to commend AUDA NEPAD for its steadfast stewardship of the African Medicines Regulatory Harmonization, that is AMRH. I find it so difficult to pronounce that thing. AMRH, I have to practice. It's a continental flagship. It has redefined Africa's regulatory landscape. Over the past decade, AMRH has transformed the regulatory landscape across our continent, establishing regional networks of trust, fostering mutual recognition, and strengthening national regulatory authorities to meet global standards while preserving African ownership and agency. AMRH, under the leadership of the African Union and with the steadfast support of our regional and global partners, has laid the cornerstone for Africa's regulatory transformation. It has cultivated trust among national regulatory authorities, fostered the convergence of technical standards, and demonstrated that regulatory collaboration across borders is not only possible, but very powerful. Building on the pioneering work of WHO AVRF, which introduced joint review and reliance models to accelerate vaccine evaluation, beginning with the successful review of the meningococcal vaccine in 2004, and later the Ebola and COVID-19 vaccines during global health emergencies. AMRH has expanded its legacy into a continental platform for regulatory harmonization. It has enabled African countries to move from fragmented oversight to a coordinated, resilient, and forward-looking regulatory ecosystem. These achievements affirm that Africa can align its systems, define its own standards, and lead its own agenda in regulating health products. The entry into force of the AMA Treaty in 2019. That is the African Medicines Agency, marked a historic turning point, transforming our over a decade of harmonization efforts into a permanent continental institution. This milestone was made possible by political courage, institutional innovation, and the enduring spirit of Pan-African solidarity. To date, as we've already heard, 31 member states have ratified the AMA Treaty. A resounding testament to Africa's sorry about that. A resounding testament to Africa's determination to establish a single, trusted regulatory space that guarantees equitable access to safe, effective, and high-quality medical products. The African Union Commission continues to champion universal ratification of the AMA Treaty. And we do that in conjunction with the AU summits, wherever we meet, the World Health Assembly, and other multilateral platforms. And this is reaffirming that a unified regulatory system is indispensable to achieving health equity and catalyzing industrial growth. With its headquarters now established in Kigali, Rwanda, and under the dynamic leadership of its inaugural Director General, Dr. Daku, the AMA has entered its operational phase, building on the legacy of AMRH. The agency now serves as the Continental Coordinating Authority for Regulatory Convergence, clinical test oversight, pharmacovigilance, and market surveillance. In close partnership with WHO, Aldo NEPAD, and the regional economic communities, AMA is laying the groundwork for a credible, agile, and future-ready regulatory ecosystem on the continent. These efforts are propelling Africa toward a unified, reliable regulatory environment, one that enables local manufacturing, facilitates technology transfer, and fosters innovation. This is not only a health imperative, but a strategic lever for realizing the aspirations of Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, and the African Continental Free Trade Area. Honorable Minister, distinguished delegates, AMRH has fulfilled its mandate with distinction. It has laid the groundwork for a harmonized, collaborative, and resilient regulatory ecosystem across the continent. Now, as we look ahead, the African Medicines Agency emerges as Africa's unified response to regulatory fragmentation, constrained market access, and reliance on external evaluations. AMA embodies the next chapter of our continental ambition, where scientific excellence is matched by political resolve, and where regulation is no longer a barrier, but rather a catalyst. Through AMA, Africa is redefining the regulatory landscape as a strategic enabler of industrialization, pharmaceutical innovation, and public health security. It is a bold affirmation that Africa can regulate with confidence, manufacture with integrity, and protect with sovereignty. As we convene here in Mombasa, let us renew our collective resolve to sustain and scale these gains. The African Union Commission will remain the political anchor. Aldo NEPAD will continue to drive technical excellence, and our partners will work with us through innovation, capacity building, and investment. Let all of us ensure that AMA becomes the living symbol of African unity, translating policy into practice and vision into measurable results. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in this defining moment of our continent, let us move with shared purpose, unwavering resolve. Let the AMA stand out, not only as an institution, but as a symbol of our unity.
the visions that it yields should be measurable, have measurable impact on the continent. Together, we can build a regulatory ecosystem that protects our people, powers our industries, and positions Africa as a global leader in health innovation. The path ahead is ours to shape with courage, collaboration, and continental pride. Unfortunately, I've not learned the Swahili that he has, but I'll say that may God bless us and may God bless our continent, Africa. Asante Nisana. But I'll say that may God bless us and may God bless our continent, Africa. Asante Nisana. But I'll say that may God bless us and may God bless our continent, Africa. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Commissioner. We really appreciate your leadership. Thank you very much. And we are committed to working, all of us working together to support the Director General to achieve the key objectives of the African Medicines Agency. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, let me invite the technical team to give us a statement from Her Excellency, Madame Nados Bekele Thomas, the Chief Executive Officer of the African Union Development Agency, who could unfortunately not make it at last minute, but is ably represented by the Director of Human Capital and Institutional Development, Mr. Smith Gray Johnson. So thank you very much. Can we please have the recorded statement of the CEO? Mr. Smith Gray Johnson. So thank you very much. Can we please have the recorded statement of the CEO? Mr. Smith Gray Johnson. So thank you very much. Can we please have the recorded statement of the CEO?
My dear brother, Honorable Aden Duale, Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Health of Kenya, Honorable Abdul Swamad Sharif, Governor of Mombasa County, Your Excellency Ambassador Ama Adoma Tuom Amoa, AU Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development, Your Excellency Dr. Delese Mimi Dako, Director General of the African Medicine Agency, heads of national regulatory authorities, and your delegations, representatives of regional economic communities, representatives of the United Nations agencies, development partners, captains of industries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would also like to recognize my team led by Director Simer Gray Johnson. Good morning. I would also like to recognize my team led by Director Simer Gray Johnson. Good morning. I would also like to recognize my team led by Director Simer Gray Johnson. Good morning. I would also like to recognize my team led by Director Simer Gray Johnson. Good morning. My dear brother, Honorable Aden Duale, Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Health of Kenya, Honorable Abdul Swamad Sharif, Governor of Mombasa County, Your Excellency Ambassador Ama Adoma Tuom Amoa, AU Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development, Your Excellency Dr. Delese Mimi Dako, Director General of the African Medicine Agency, heads of national regulatory authorities, and your delegations, representatives of regional economic communities, representatives of the United Nations agencies, development partners, captains of industries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would also like to recognize my team led by Director Simer Grace Johnson. Good morning to you all. It is a great honor to welcome you all to the 7th Scientific Conference on Medicines Regulation in Africa, SCoMRA. I regret profoundly that due to unforeseen circumstances, I could not be with you physically. However, I want to assure you that I am with you in both spirit and solidarity. Excellencies, I wish to extend my heartfelt appreciation to the government and people of the Republic of Kenya for hosting us in the beautiful and historic city of Mombasa. Your warm hospitality and continued leadership in strengthening Africa's health system are really commendable. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the SCoMRA platform has grown beyond a mere gathering of experts. It has transformed into a community and a movement dedicated to ensuring that every African has access to safe, effective, and quality assured medical products. This year's theme, regulatory harmonization, unlocking Africa's potential in health product manufacturing and trade, could not be more timely. Excellencies, across the continent, we continue to spend over $65 billion annually on pharmaceuticals and medical supplies, and out of which 70 to 80% are imported. This level of dependency exposes our health systems to global market volatility and leaves us vulnerable during crisis, as we experienced during the COVID-19 pandemic and other public health emergencies. Excellencies, if Africa is to achieve health sovereignty, it must be able to produce the medical products it needs, and it must also have strong, harmonized, and trusted regulatory systems to guarantee their safety, quality, and efficacy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not only a public health matter, it is a matter of economic development, industrialization, and strategic continental resilience. It lies at the heart of Agenda 2063, Africa's vision for inclusive growth and transformation. To advance Africa's health sovereignty and reduce dependency on imported medical products, we are supporting a coordinated continental effort to strengthen local production and health systems. These efforts, ladies and gentlemen, include 4 interrelated initiatives aimed at, first, leading the implementation of the Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Plan for Africa, the PMPA, alongside the Priority 24 Health Products Roadmap, which together guide investment and expand local pharmaceutical production capacity across the continent. Second, strengthening our domestic health financing and structuring sustainable investment pipelines of our member states through the Program for Investment and Financing in Africa's Health Sector, the PIFA. Third, supporting member states and regional economic communities in expanding access to quality sexual and reproductive health services, especially for young people, through our demographic dividend and sexual and reproductive health programs. And fourth, strengthening pharmacovigilance systems to ensure the safety and quality of medical products circulating within our markets through the AU Smart Safety Surveillance Initiative, the AU 3S. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, 16 years ago, we established the African Medicine Regulatory Harmonization Program. At that time, the vision of harmonized regulatory systems across Africa seemed very ambitious. And yet today, AMRH is recognized as one of the most successful continental health initiatives of the African Union. Over the 16 years, AMRH has helped to strengthen national and regional regulatory systems with 9 WHO Maturity Level 3 NRS and 6 regional MRH initiatives established across the continent. harmonized regulatory standards, and enabled joint regulatory activities, helping Africa to be more predictable and an attractive marketplace for pharmaceutical investment and cross-border trade. We also launched the continental pilot for the listing of human medicines regulations in 2023, resulting in the approval of 12 medicines and 4 box diagnostics. This initiative, ladies and gentlemen, was first conceived during the 6th SCoMRA and forms the foundation for the full operationalization of the African Medicines Agency, AMA. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this 16-year journey, we also stand at a moment of transition from AMRH to AMA, a powerful symbol of Africa's sustained and growing confidence and capacity to shape its own health future. The African Medicine Agency, AMA, is not just a new organization. It signifies the next chapter of a journey that began with a shared dream, a dream of a harmonized regulatory environment that promotes innovation, attracts investment, and ensures that no African is left behind when it comes to access to quality, safe, and efficient medicines. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next few days, we will engage in discussions that will shape the future of health regulations in Africa, from strengthening local manufacturing and regional collaboration to advancing digital regulatory solutions and building resilient systems to combat substandard and falsified medical products. This is what makes SCoMRA special. It is not just a conference. It is a catalyst for collective and progressive action. With the African Medicine Agency now operational in Kigali, the African Union Development Agency, NEPAD, remains deeply committed to working hand in hand with the Secretariat of the agency to ensure a smooth transition of the technical work of the African Medicine Regulatory Harmonization Program. During the transition, we will collaborate closely with AMA to ensure that support for member states and regional economic communities in strengthening and harmonizing regulatory systems is sustained towards full regulatory harmonization under the African Medicine Agency. We believe that a strong and unified regulatory system is the backbone of Africa's health security and a key driver of the African Continental Free Trade Area. To our partners, we extend our deepest appreciation for working with us on this AMRH journey. As we transition to the African Medicine Agency, AMA, we count on your continued collaboration and steadfast support to turn this shared vision into reality. Together, we are proving that Africa is not waiting for the future. Africa is building it. I wish you all a successful and inspiring SCoMRA. Thank you. Africa is building it. I wish you all a successful and inspiring.
Thank you very much, Madam CEO of the African Union Development Agency, Auda NEPAD. And as she has said in her statement, this is an era where the continent is not waiting for the future. The continent is building the future now, is in the future. And we are all working towards ensuring that every African has access to quality, safe, and effective medical products. And before we left the office, we were given clear mandate by the Chief Executive Officer that this is the time. This is the time we pass on the baton. This is the time to move forward from the African Medicine Regulatory Harmonization Initiative to the African Medicines Agency. She actually instructed us to put together a report on everything that we have done under the AMRH over the past 16 years. The assets we have accumulated the technical expertise across the continent, the partnerships we have built, and whatever we have put together as a foundation for the African Medicines Agency, including the lessons that we have learned. Not everything initiative to you. And I would like to invite, before we get the official opening from our Honorable Minister, I would like to invite the representative of the Chief Executive Officer of the African Union Development Agency, Director SCoMRA Greg Johnson, to come on the podium to officially hand over the baton of the African Medicines Regulatory Harmonization Initiative to the Director General of the African Medicines Agency, Her Excellency Dr. Delisi Mimi Dako. Officially pronouncing the transition is starting. Director General of the African Medicines Agency, Her Excellency Dr. Delisi Mimi Dako. Officially pronouncing the transition is starting. Director General of the African Medicines Agency, Her Excellency Dr. Delisi Mimi Dako. Officially pronouncing the transition is starting. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The journey has started. Now, the emirate is in your hands, Ma'am. And we look forward to your leadership. There is everything in there. Everything. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. At this point in time, it is my honor and privilege to invite the chairman of board of the Kenya Pharmacy and Poisons Board to come and invite Honorable Minister to give his official opening remarks. Thank you. At this point in time, it is my honor and privilege to invite the chairman of board of the Kenya
Once
Pharmacy
I
and
think this
Poisons
is
Board
the easiest and
to come and
happiest
invite
moment for me.
Honorable
I know this is a
Minister to give
continental
his official
event, but
opening
allow
remarks.
me to
Thank
say
you.
just two things before I invite the Honorable Minister. The Honorable Minister Aden Duale has served in this country in many decades. I don't want to name them, it's a continental event, but I do not think there is any docket that he has served with passion like the Ministry of Health. He has served with passion, conviction, until he has many nicknames. Being a continental event, I will not name them, and therefore a good reason and for positive reasons. One of the things he believes in is absolute and complete digitalization of all health services, not only the regulatory aspect, the entire health service in the Republic of Kenya. And many of the things we have discussed since Monday resonate with his vision. Indeed, I don't know whether he borrowed from the African Union, from AMA, from the Africa Harmonization and Collaboration, I'm not sure, but they resonate almost 100%. He believes in universal healthcare and infrastructures and systems to ensure health for all Kenyans, which again actually resonates with exactly what we have been discussing here since Monday. On the regulatory aspect, which is the climax and the core reason why we are here this afternoon, he believes in very strong regulatory authorities. Indeed, when I was appointed to my role, he took an entire afternoon to brief me on the reforms that he expects from my leadership. I will not say what he said, but again, I don't want to make an allegation, I think he had a script from the African Union, from the African Harmonization and Collaboration, and possibly from AMA. I know he has not seen it, but it resonates. He's a firm believer. There's things that we've talked about and talked about by many dignitaries from the African Union, the issue of falsified medicines, counterfeits, quality, local manufacturing and trade are very close to his heart. And indeed, when we talk about domestic issues, which I can extend to the continent of Africa, he says, Chairman, just do what you must do to make sure that our populations are safe, they get what they need, we have what we need to have in the market, the noise and the fight, leave them to me, just do your job. And therefore, we cannot have a better person to give the keynote address than the Honorable Aden Duale. And I'll ask you to be upstanding as I take this opportunity, being my honor and privilege to welcome the Honorable Aden Duale to give his keynote address and officially open this conference. Honorable Minister. As I take this opportunity,
please let's sit down.
Honor and privilege to welcome the Honorable Aden Duale to give his keynote address and officially open this conference. Honorable Minister.
Excellencies, Ambassador, my sister Amma, the AU Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian and Social Development, Dauda Nepad, WHO representative, policymakers from health, finance, trade, and industry, leaders of medicines regulatory authorities across Africa, and our partner regulators worldwide, researchers and academia, health product manufacturers and the association, development partners, and all stakeholders present. On behalf of His Excellency President William Ruto, the African Union champion for local manufacturing, I warmly welcome you to Mombasa. We are not meeting just for a ceremony, but we are meeting for a purpose. And the purpose is to align the rules that govern our sector so that Africa can manufacture at scale, it can trade with confidence, and guarantee our people uninterrupted access to safe, quality health products. Our recent experience taught us a hard lesson. When the global chain ceased, Africa waited. That must not happen again. The remedy is very clear. We must move decisively from being primary importers to becoming reliable producers of vaccines, diagnostics, devices, and many others at quality, at scale, and on time. The master key to this shift is regulatory harmonization, which converts 55 fragmented markets into one investable opportunity under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Coming back home, the Kenya's fifth administration has organized its health ambition around 4 pillars that speak directly to this moment, and that is what Dr. Munyu was talking about. Dr. Munyu, I have given him a very difficult job with very timeline instructions. So he has to keep his job, him and his team. He knows it, and he's doing very well. And Dr. Munyu has a history. In Kenya, we say, the president says, you must surround yourself with smart people if you want to succeed. That's what me saying. He's the president of the Republic of Kenya. So Dr. Munyu is one of the very few smart people who are around me in making sure that we deliver on our health ambition, which is around 4 pillars. And these four pillars, in my opinion, and the opinion of the president, speak directly to this moment. And the first one is a fit for purpose health workforce in our country, where we have a well-trained, well-deployed, and well-led. So the right skills are in the right place at the right time. Our second pillar is end-to-end digitization. The health digital superhighway that exists in our country today is linking the identity of our patients. It links to our clinical records, to our supply chains, and it gives us a real-time analytics. The third pillar is commodity security, which is stressed by a very strong Kenya Medical Supply Agency, which Dr. Munyi was the CEO for more than 10 years, and a very vibrant local manufacturing. And this assures us as a country affordable, quality assured products that reaches our citizens at the last mile. The fourth and the last one is sound health financing, which is protecting our households, rewarding performance, and sustaining the system. So local manufacturing binds these pillars together. It anchors resilience, it stabilizes our prices, and it ensures continuity of care. Ladies and gentlemen, regulation is the enabling architecture. Divergent requirements across borders keep Africa small. Harmonized standards make Africa a single, credible market. The African Medicine Agency, AMA, is our continental leap. It's an institution designed to be vigorous, predictable, innovative, friendly, which must accelerate access, while at the same time safeguarding the quality and the safety. When standards converge, investment follows. When investment arrives, jobs are created. Resilience and technology transfer then follows. Our call is straightforward: ratify, resource, and operationalize AMA. Align national statutes with the continental frameworks, and use Africa Continental Free Trade Area to open the arteries of intra-Africa trade in a quality-based health product. Full procurement, mutual recognition, common technology standards, in our opinion, as a country, will shorten time to market, will reduce regulatory duplication, and will attract manufacturers to build plants where policy certainly is the strongest. Kenya is aligning its house accordingly. We are strengthening our national regulatory authority toward global benchmarks. We are digitizing review pathways, and we are integrating quality systems from the clinical trials oversight to the post-market surveillance. And our objective is simple: an authorization in Kenya should inspire confidence anywhere in Africa. Our data should flow securely and interoperable along the digital superhighway we are building as a country. Ladies and gentlemen, factories cannot stand on soft ground. We are tightening governance of procurement. We are introducing track and trace and anti-counterfeit system so that every shipment is verifiable from the production line to the patient. Transparent, digital, end-to-end visibility will always protect our patients. It will reassure our investors, and it will make public finance count twice. In the parallel, we are cultivating technology transfer hubs, incentivizing backward integration for inputs, and we are building the power, the logistics, and the skills-based manufacturers require to compete, first within Africa and then globally. So sustainability is not negotiable. We are designing a 5-year framework in which core financing depends, operations and maintenance are fully budgeted, and by the year 5, the government of Kenya carries the current cost. Commodity security must be domestically financed, it must be domestically managed, and it must be domestically improved over time. Sovereignty is not a slogan, it is a capability. And that's why we invest in people, skills transfer, accredited training, and in-service mentorship, so Kenyan and African teams can design, can regulate, can manufacture, and continuously improve without external dependence. For our African family, let us finish the work of harmonization. Let us ratify and resource AMA. Let's converge our standards and make Africa Continental Free Trade Area the first lane for Africa products made on this continent. To our development partners and development banks who are present here, shift decisively from the perpetual projects to strategic investment in African institutions and factories. Help crowd in the private capital where regulatory certainly now lowers the risk. To manufacturers, academia, clinical trial sponsors, clinical research organizations, and the civil society. We ask you to bring innovation, we ask you to bring capital, research, and community trust. We will bring policy stability ourselves, we'll create market access, and we will make and give you regulatory clarity. If we align rules, and we build plans, and we create financial sustainability, and we digitize end to end, and we grow talent, the next crisis will find an Africa that does not queue, but will find an Africa that supplies. The next breakthrough will carry an African label and will meet a continental specification and move across African borders at African speed. This is how we transform resilience from aspiration into architecture. This is how we turn health sovereignty into a daily reality for our patients, for professionals, and for producers alike. Before we turn to our working sessions, I really want to invite our guests to experience Kenya beyond the conference hall. Take a moment to unwind on our beautiful coastal beaches, explore the rich cultural mosaic of the coastal Swahili heritage. I didn't want to dance because I have been a member of parliament and a leader of majority for 20 years now. I'm in the executive. So I thought maybe if I dance, then I might remember my old days and go back to politics. So I had to keep my lane. I'm no longer in that space. So I told that young lady, please look for the governor. He has left by then. Look for somebody who is a politician around here. And to do that. So I really want you to get out, explore the rich cultural mosaic, the coastal. And I was telling the commissioner, Ambassador Ama, that I have been to Ghana and I have many friends in Ghana. So there's a lot of similarity between the Ghanaian dance in some parts of Ghana and the Mijikenda. That's called the Mijikenda coastal dance. It's found along the coast. It's one of our communities that live on the coastline. There's a lot of similarity. The Savo, the Mzima Springs, the Chimba Hills are beauty to experience and memories to take back home. But I think to finish, on behalf of His Excellency the President, I invite this conference to be a platform for decisions, not merely discussions. And this is where communiques become construction, standards become shipments, and ambition becomes outcome. I invite this conference to be a platform for as I speak for the government of Kenya and also the Ministry of Health, standards become shipments. On my phone becomes outcome. I can tell, and as a country, we can tell the importance of digitization, of digitizing the health records. We can, on my phone, we are now implementing a very comprehensive universal health coverage. 27.5 million Kenyans at the top of their phones register with the Social Health Authority in the last 1 year. That's half of our population. We are now implementing a very comprehensive universal health coverage is a reality and a fact. If half of our population are registered, and in that digital superhighway, we have a component with the Pharmacy and Poison Board. So universal health coverage. Number one, nobody can dispense any drug in our country if he's not a pharmacist. Because the system has all the pharmacists. And in fact, if his license is not current with the regulator, then he cannot dispense. Two, you cannot dispense a drug and also paid for by the Social Health Authority if that drug has not been certified by the regulator. So we are so that in the last 1 year we have reduced counterfeit and fake drugs in our country. Thirdly, we have introduced in our system an app called Track and Trace by the regulator. So we can trace so that in the last 1 year we have reduced a particular product, pharmaceutical product, from the patient all the way to the manufacturer. An app called Track and that basically is in line with the law we have introduced in our country called Health Quality of Health and Patient Safety Act. It's just before Parliament. Because we want to define that care, quality care. Care is not just care, it must be defined. In line with the law we have introduced in our country called. And secondly, you must define the dignity of the patient. So in our country, and that's why Dr. Munyi was saying I have been given many names. That care, he decided not to say it. It must be defined. Is that I have said the patient is the boss in our country. And secondly, the minister is not the boss. The healthcare workers are not the boss. The investors who invest in our healthcare are not the bosses. The patient is the boss. So you will not find a patient on the floor of a hospital. Every patient in our country lives on a bed. And it is very simple. We did it very simple. How do we did it? When you go to the regulator and you want to establish a hospital, private, public, faith-based, your license has bed occupancy. How many beds do you have? If you say you have 50 beds, you can only admit 50 beds. Very simple. We did it very simple. How do we did it? And from here in Mombasa, I can tell from a dashboard all the beds occupancy of all our hospitals. So if you come, we can tell you your hospital is on the red. You have only 5 beds remaining. So make sure you send your patients to the next hospital. And from here in Mombasa, the biggest name I think I've been given was when I introduced something called so if you come, I asked medical doctors and healthcare workers that for you to use your pre-authorization code, even to discharge a patient, you can only do it in our country only 500 meters from the health facility. I asked medical doctors and healthcare workers. Yeah, I'm sure there are many doctors here. They want to use their pre-authorization code, the pre-authorization code, even from the comfort of their homes. No, it tells you the moment you are 500 meters outside, because we have done geofencing of all health facilities. So the moment you are out of that 500, then the system locks you out. So if you want to discharge a patient, you need to go back to the hospital and see your patient, look at the file, see he's okay. So the moment you are out of that 500, then we had made sure that, so if you want to discharge a patient, we had made sure that we had to get rid of quack doctors, pharmacists, and dentists, and consultants. And what do? We integrated the whole of our healthcare workforce, whether the clinicians, medical doctors, pharmacists, dentists, into the digital superhighway. So the Social Health Authority, when you do a procedure in a theater, for them to reimburse, you must provide what you call a basic, I'm not a doctor, but the basic things you learn in medical school, which is theater notes. Do a procedure in a theater. We are now fighting the fraud in the healthcare sector. So regulation is very key. Our regulators they must make sure that all is right and we keep on improving. So I think this meeting is good. We are with you, and I think going forward, we are now fighting the fraud. We will. Our president is the champion of local manufacturing. Our regulators in the next 1 or 2 years. So I think this meeting is good. We will introduce very stringent rules for our pharmaceutical manufacturers. We have now key manufacturers who are exposed to many places in Africa and in the Americas and in India. But we feel we should not, Africa should not, and I said, I think I said it earlier when I was in my early part of my speech, we should not just wait. We must move, and we must move with speed. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's my distinct honor and privilege on behalf of His Excellency President of the Republic of Kenya and African Union Champion for Local Manufacturing to officially declare and open the 7th Biannual Scientific Conference on Medical Products Regulations in Africa. Asanteni sana. God bless you. Thank you. Of the Republic of Kenya and African Union Champion for Local Manufacturing to officially declare and open the 7th Biannual Scientific Conference on Medical Products Regulations in Africa. Asanteni sana. God bless you. Thank you. Of the Republic of Kenya and African Union Champion for Local Manufacturing.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for officially opening the 7th Scientific Conference on Medicines Regulatory Harmonization in Africa. We thank you for your presence and your leadership in this agenda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
At this point in time, Honorable Minister and the high-level panel that was spoken this morning, I would like to kindly request you to come in front to take a photo of the high-level panel, if you could come in front. And as the high-level panel is coming in front, I would like to announce a few changes that we have put on the agenda, that we have put on the agenda so that we manage time.
I would like to
we will go for lunch soon after the high-level speakers leave the room after the photo. After lunch, we want to make it strictly an hour if it is possible, so that we are back here by 1:15. It is 1:15. We would like to be back here by 2:15. As soon as we are back, we will conclude the session that we did not conclude, which is on showcasing digital platforms and solutions. We will do that session for the next 45 minutes. And after the did not session of 45 minutes, we are going to move to the parallel sessions, which will be announced after the plenary when we come back in an hour. So we will leave the room after the high level delegates have left the room. And thereafter we will have lunch and come back by 2:15 when we come back in an hour. So we will leave the room after the high level delegates have left the room. And thereafter we will have lunch and come back by 2:15 when we come back in an hour. So we will leave the room after the high level delegates have left the room. And thereafter we will have lunch and come back by 2:15 when we come back in an hour. So we will leave the room after the high level delegates have left the room. And thereafter we will have lunch and come back by 2:15.